All right, let's go up to Capitol Hill. We've got a member of the Armed Services Committee, Republican Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi. Senator, thanks for being with us. Good to see you this morning. Let's pick up this conversation right here. What do you think Americans should know about the shooting down of that Syrian jet, what it means for our troops and for our people abroad?
Well, what I think Americans should know, I think we'll be briefed on that. It is a very serious situation, no question about it. And you know, I've had a chance to ask the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff about this, and he expressed concern about going to war with Russia over the Syrian question. So it is clearly something that that needs to be handled delicately. But let me say this: I have called for months now, if not for over a year, and Senator John McCain has called for some way to have safe spaces and safe areas where there's a no-fly zone, where innocent Syrian civilians, children, can be free from these barrel bombs. And our administration over the last several years seems to have been unable to negotiate that sort of thing.
And that makes sense to a lot of people,
It seems to me is not a terrible reach to be able to, with the Court of International Opinion, to negotiate something that protects people not only from chemical weapons, as we've now done, but also from the barrel bombs.
Senator, those safe zones, the idea of the safe zones have been out there for many years now, since this civil war started in Syria. What's standing in the way of creating them?
Well, I don't think our administration, under the Obama administration, was very serious about that. And frankly, of course, we still have the same chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff who's been very, very cautious about this. And I'm mindful of the pushback. I'm mindful of the situation that he's worried about. But also, we have had hundreds of thousands of fatalities of innocent people, and it just seems to me that this needs to have been elevated to a much more serious level of discussion.
Senator, on health care, what is the Senate considering that's different from what's in the House bill?
Well, the Senate is considering making 50 experiments in Medicaid so that Medicaid works, while also preserving a system that was meant to protect poor children and disabled people. So we want to move away from the all-encompassing single-payer aspect that Obamacare was moving them to, and try 50 experiments to make Medicaid better. Also to give these 50% of the counties that don't have choices now, choices again, and then make good on the promises that the Obamacare advocates were not able to do. We want you to be able to choose your own doctor. We want you to be able to have choices. And we certainly want to address this situation where the premiums have been skyrocketing. I mean, just almost every promise that the president solemnly made in a joint speech to Congress,
so, Senator,
it has either been violated or not. He was not able to fulfill
What's the argument for doing these discussions you're having largely in secret?
Well, you know, I'm really confused with my friends on the Democratic side of the aisle. Senator Schumer said we will have no part of these discussions. And famously, President Obama, on the way out of office, said, don't participate in this. Let the Republicans own it all, and don't be part of something that dismantles
Senator,
Obamacare.
with all due respect, so that doesn't lead inexorably to you all having your conversations amongst Republicans in secret. Why do it in secret?
Well, actually, I think you'll find that when delicate negotiations are going on, whether it's been done on the Democratic side or the Republican side, details have to be ironed out. I have not seen a final proposal. I think I see the direction it's going in. And let me just say this. There is going to be a full discussion, and there's going to be a score available to the American people before we ask the final version to be voted on.
Which could happen as early as next week, if you believe Leader McConnell. Senator Roger Wicker, thank you very much for your time this morning. We appreciate it. Coming